Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. Today we are going to learn a new poem number 14, My Books. Now can you tell me what are these? These are books, and the collective noun of books is called as pile, a pile of books. So for what purpose we use the books? We use the books for reading, writing, listening, speaking, and so many other purpose for which we use books. Now we will see what we use books. We use books for reading purpose. For what reading? Reading lessons, then reading literature, then reading poem, stories, and so on. So we use books for reading. We also use books for writing purpose, such as writing stories, lessons, poems, and so on. So for what we use? We use book also for writing. So we also use books for arts and craft, and also as scrapbook. Arts and craft means drawing our thoughts, and scrap means keeping some special things such as drawing or craft in that book. So, where do we find these books? We find the books mostly in libraries, and the Library of Congress is the largest library in the world, located in Washington DC. So, there are many libraries where the books are available, where you can go and get the books for reading. Now we will start with the poem. I love my books. They are the homes of queens and fairies and knights and grooms. So we will see the poem in detail. So the poet says that his books are homes of different people, such as queens. Who are the queens? Queens who live in the palace, and fairies. Fairies have wings. So who is a queen? A queen who lives in the palace with the king. So we have studied in the stories that the king and queen, they live in the palace. So what does the poet says? That his books are homes of the queens, and also homes of the fairies. Who are fairies? Fairies, those who have wings and a magic wand. They can fly in the sky. So these fairies have some magic power. Now can you tell me why the poet says that his books are homes of queens and fairies? Because we learn about them in the books. That's why the poet says that they are the homes of queens and fairies. Now further, poet says that books are homes of the knights. Who are knights? Where do we find them? We find them in the palace of a king. So what they do? They fight with the enemies. So books are homes of the knights, and books are also homes of the gnomes. Who are gnomes? They are small people with magical power. So the books are also homes of the gnomes. Where do we learn about these gnomes? We learn in the fairy stories or fairy tales. So we learn about these gnomes. Where do we learn? In the fairy tales. stories of fairies and kings and queens. So, the books are homes of queens and fairies and knights and gnomes. So, how we came to know that they are the homes? Because we learn about them in the story books or in fairy tales.